Good afternoon and welcome to Titan Talk. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Today we have a special guest, two of them. I have Mr. Tony Kvist with me, major of all madness. And then I have our very special, as always, Chief of Security, Mr. Josh Leon. So thank you both for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys. Today we're doing a reaction video. Chief always loves these. I usually have some really good ones for him. This one's very nice. I like this one.
Okay.
There's some backstory on this one. This one starts, when we start the video, we'll start right into it.
Okay.
The backstory behind this is we have 6 juvenile teens that have been going through Walmart, causing a disturbance, setting car alarms off, taking the bikes off the racks, riding them around. Kids stuff.
Yep.
Harassing a bunch of people and stuff like that. Cops get called out. Cops come out. They detain the kids. They know who they are right off the bat. Call the parents and say, hey, you need to come pick up your kids. We're going to fine you, give you guys a fine for their disobedience and whatever. One of the parents is agitated at this. And then when the video picks up, when we start it, this is exactly where the video will pick up from, is the agitation from one of the parents.
Okay. So basically the cops are saying your kid's a little asshole and the parents aren't liking it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't really get all my cussing out before the video. Go ahead.
Yo, calm down. Calm down.
Don't fuck with me! Stop! I didn't do nothing! I didn't do nothing! I didn't do nothing! I didn't do nothing! Guys, here, I'm being...
Hey, bring it back, do it now! Hey, bring it back! Get back!
Calm down, please. Calm down.
Stop resisting!
I'm not resisting.
No,
I can't breathe. Please take your knee off my back. I'm cooperative.
You're under arrest.
I'm cooperative. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, you're cutting me, bro.
You're coming. Next time, don't resist.
I didn't resist. He put his hands on me.
You approached him. You battered a law
I was
enforcement.
talking to him. I asked him, I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Calm down.
Just shut up, dude.
Son.
He's double locked. Next one here. You back up. Tell her back up. This is an investigation. Tell her back up.
Great line right there.
Babe, can you please call a lawyer?
Situational awareness with that one.
Okay, thank you. Hey guys, my left wrist is losing circulation, please.
We'll quickly get to the car.
Okay,
For everybody wondering, yes, that it is correct. The body camera is now upside down.
What's the problem?
Two 14 5.
Can you please give the keys to my wife? Yeah, that's the key hanging out of my pocket. Yeah.
You're going to jail for battery on law enforcement.
I'm going to jail for battery? Who's got a body cam? You got a body cam? Did you see it?
Do.
Why did he put his hands out at me at first? I was talking to him.
You approached him in an aggressive manner.
I was just running up because I saw him putting my kid in handcuffs in the back of the car, so I wanted to talk to him.
We explained to you over the phone what was happening.
Oh, yeah, I freaked out on the phone. I apologize about that.
All right, sit in the back.
I haven't ate. I'm pretty freaking pissed about all this.
He's indicating he's angry. Hey, I've been that angry. You guys have seen me that angry.
Daily.
Yeah, when I'm hungry.
Used to be. Much better nowadays. But so
I want to key on what something he just said. Now, I know people probably get sick of it because I always take from my father but that's my hero, and that's what I learned a lot from. Even though he is in deep shit with me right now because he injured himself while running, and he's 77 years old, so he is grounded.
sounds like somebody I know.
Interesting. Yeah. He actually sent me a text message. Remember The Simpsons where Bart writes, "I will not do this again. I will not," on the chalkboard 100 times. He sent me a text that says, "I will not do stupid shit again. I will not do stupid shit again. I will not do stupid shit again." Okay. The reason I said great line is he says this is an investigation. All right. That's fantastic language and a sharp police officer. And we'll talk about the rest of it here in a second. But I'm taking from my dad here, everything that you do as a police officer is an investigation. Okay. If you go get an alarm call, you are investigating this alarm. If you pull over a vehicle, you're investigating this vehicle. If you pull over, or if you, got a suspicious person, you're investigating a suspicious person call. And the reason that officer used that is to back up, this is investigation, because if she would have kept coming, now she's committed a crime. You're interfering with law enforcement officer's investigation. And so when you have that on video where he's giving the warning, back up, this is an investigation. That was fantastic. We used to do that when you would tell somebody to keep their hands out of their pockets, but you didn't really want to take them into custody or anything. You're still investigating something. And they would go to put their hands in their pockets. Again, you say, partner, you're making me nervous. Stop putting those hands in your pockets. You're making me nervous about what you got going on in your pockets. So stop it. And for him to do that quickly was really, really good. Okay.
One of the things I like about that as well is it shows his situational awareness. He's dealing with his subject, but he's also aware of what's going on around him.
Yep.
He's got eyes on his partner. He's got eyes on everything else going. So it shows that situational awareness that we've tagged on in the past before.
Breaking tunnel vision, yeah.
Exactly, breaking tunnel vision, keeping that stuff aware. So it's fantastic. The reason I like this video is because, one, it's not the traditional one that we would normally show or that you would normally see as a reaction video. Everyone out of this is fine. He did get charged with a battery of 2 police officers.
Sure.
When they looked at the body cam of the police officer that he pushed him first.
Yeah.
And so when they got him down, he was still fighting. So they got him on 2 counts of battery.
You see how quickly it all escalated.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very, very quick. That I thought that was really well done. There was, they had to get the cuffs adjusted, but that's what we always try to tell everybody is it's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
Then do the right thing and clean it back up. Sure. Yeah, but it is going to be a mess. And when you're in we used I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. We used to call them a pig pile. Because you got a bunch of pigs on top of somebody. So you end up in a pig pile. And I remember one time Warren Gardner, who I love dearly. Warren was a good officer who I worked with, and I knew his dad too, who was also an officer. Warren Gardner, we were in a pig pile one time, and Warren cuffed me. And so, but he would, if he was here, he would be laughing about it. So, because you're just a bunch of elbows and assholes, as they say, and Warren ended up cuffing me.
Can't tell whose hand is who.
That's exactly right. It's just a pile of hands.
Hey, look, I've got a hand right here. Click. That's mine.
Yeah,
Well,
Warren would be laughing about that one because that was that one that I blew my knee out on, and so it was a mess, and he was doing the right thing, because the thing is when you've got a pile like that, you don't want to be on a pile on top of somebody. That's dangerous. So you do want to get him cuffed so you can take the pile off.
Get off.
And that's where you want to expedite that and get that done as soon as possible.
And you can see that in the video. As soon as they got him detained, everybody piled off of him. They made sure the cuffs were fit and locked, and they picked him up.
It's never pretty. It's never pretty. Every once in a while, I take that back. You'll see an officer with a real sharp move, and get the situation handled immediately. But that's usually a very, very sharp officer who spidey senses were tingling, and he knew something was getting ready to happen, and he'll wrap
Prepared
them up.
and ready to go.
Yeah.
But overall, this was a fantastic way everything went down. Unfortunately, the guy did get charged, which it sucks, but you don't approach that way. I mean, you don't come up angry. Mm-hmm. I get you're frustrated with the kids and everything, but you just don't do that. Mm-hmm. That's just not, it's not fair to police officers. It's not fair to yourself. It puts everybody in a bad spot because they don't know who you are. They don't know what you've got. So this was
as quickly as he came in and as hot as he came in. Mm-hmm. That was just that was so aggressive.
Yeah. And what people need to remember, that looked like Florida to me, just because of the colors. I'm not sure. Was it Florida? Yeah. Florida sheriff's departments are always going to usually be green or yellow. They're kind of known for those colors, and so it looked like Florida to me. That the thing about that people need to remember, and I don't know Florida state statutes, but I know where ours. I know Kansas,
right.
And I know a lot of Missouris. What people don't realize is even if he wouldn't have made contact with the police officer, which you're telling me he did, that he made contact with
chest
in the chest, he doesn't have to make contact.
No, it's the approach.
In Kansas, the assault is I am in reasonable fear of you or you, Tony, touching me in a rude or insolent manner. Okay, I'm in reasonable fear. You've approached me with fists. You've taken my personal space away. You've closed the gap,
Right.
or whatever. And in Kansas, that elevates from assault to battery when you actually do make the physical contact. So, what people need to remember is not only should you not put your hands on a police officer, you shouldn't approach them in an aggressive manner either. And that doesn't just go for a police officer. That goes for a human being. So if you and I are in an argument out here in the parking lot and we're at this space, okay, and you take that space away and come at me with fists up, and a police officer shows up, even though you didn't strike me, I can ask that police officer and be willing to sign as the complainant for you assaulting me.
Yeah.
I was in reasonable fear that you were going to touch me in a rude or insolent manner.
Well, it's like the old, high school or grade school schoolyard type things. Like, well, you hit me first. It's like that doesn't. You don't need to.
None
be
of that
hit
matters.
first.
None of that matters.
You can defend yourself first before being hit.
Yeah. That those are that's a part of the law that a lot of people don't understand. I'm wanting to say in Missouri, the actual touching is a different type of an assault than the actual approach. But I don't know all Missouri statutes that well, so I'm speaking out of ignorance there. But in Kansas, that's how those statutes work. I'm guessing that might work that way in Florida.
Very similar
as
to
well.
Florida, maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't know them either. I know the Kansas ones because you've taught me them over the time I've been here.
Yep.
But yeah, when it comes to that, when you're approaching whether what's going on, approach in a calm manner.
Yeah.
Figure out what's going on, and you can even hear him backtracking. And
Yeah.
he even said, he goes, "I didn't touch him." But when they reviewed the body camera footage, that's when they saw that he had put hands on the officer.
Yeah.
When you're in this situation, or you've got that call from police to come collect your kid due to whatever reasons going on because your kid's being a jerk, you got to understand there's two sides of the story. There's the story that your kid's going to tell you. There's the story that everybody else is going to be like, hey, this is the actual truth.
Yeah.
And we all want to believe our kids.
Sure.
But come in with that open mind. Don't come like this. Don't come aggravated because
people make a big mistake of sainting their children and sainting people who are dead. Just because you're my child doesn't mean you're a saint.
Yeah.
And just because you're one of my loved ones who walked this earth doesn't mean you were a saint when you were here. It just doesn't. And yes, you're absolutely right. People are going to be highly elevated when it comes to dealing with something with their children, and I 100% understand that. And the police officers need to understand that. I'm dealing with somebody who's going to have a lot of raw emotions because I'm talking about their child. Right. But you might want to gather that information because I was a little asshole, and and I'm sure you two were as well.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I've got two boys as well as you. It's like if someone says I'm coming up and going, what'd they do?
Yeah. No,
it's funny, the first thing.
My dad was a cop, obviously, and if one of the cops said, "We got your son here," he would not have been thinking I did anything good. Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember the first time I had an interaction with law enforcement, I got pulled over. I was like 6 months into driving, just got my license, super happy, pulled over, speeding, called my mom. First words out of my mom's mouth, "What'd he do?" Wasn't, my kid didn't do anything. What did he do?
Yeah.
He's guilty. I know he's guilty of something, but just tell me what it is. I'll get him when he gets home.
Yeah. And that culture has shifted. That culture has shifted. It used to be if our teachers said, or our police officers or law enforcement officials or people in authority said, "Hey, your child, we had this kind of issue with your child," we normally took their words for it. But now that, the parents at least want to air out how they're feeling about the situation. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm just saying, maybe take into account that, your child could have made a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all human. We all make mistakes, and generally, as a young adult, most of us are jerks.
Yeah.
At times, we all have that.
Sure.
So, but this was a good video that kind of goes around and shows a good part of how this interaction went. Some fantastic verbiage from the officers, how they handled the situation and everything, and I absolutely love that about this.
I do appreciate the last few times that I've done this that I don't see police officers getting hurt. There's nothing that that upsets me more than that, and it just that one it makes my heart race, and I just don't like it. It makes me angry. So no, thank you for saving those for somebody else to review.
I try not to do those anymore.
Yeah.
I try to pick other things that we can have talks about that are good learning experiences that show fantastic use from officers and stuff like that. Because I said this one of the last videos we did. There's just so much negative out there.
Sure.
There's nothing wrong with finding something where there's maybe a minimum amount of negative like this, but there's so much good in it that you can say, hey, look, this could have gone this way, but because of the way the officers handled it, they spoke and they did their jobs, it didn't.
Yep.
You know, it went well.
Yeah.
This could have gone a whole lot worse, but because of the way the officers are and they handle themselves and what they said and their verbiage and everything, this was probably one of the best
More
outcomes that
often
this
than
could have
not,
had.
the situations do go well. They don't go south.
Yeah. It is. The math is.
Right.
It would blow your mind on how many contacts police officers have with the general public that go absolutely fine.
Exactly.
Yeah. The math is through the roof.
And
I'm talking millions and millions of
As
contacts
opposed to what
a day.
what the public would think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why I've started transitioning the videos to these videos like this, because there's so much of those negative videos out there. There's just no point.
Sure.
You know, why not focus on these ones where we can show the good, where we can show where the officers had restraint, because that, more than people know, is how it happens.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
more of that out there than anybody will ever realize, and by
100%.
focusing on the negative, we make it worse.
Yeah.
So, other than that, we will let you guys get back to it. We appreciate you guys joining us today. Thank you so much. We will catch you on the next one. I won't do the weather, just for you.
No, you won't. Let me make this extremely clear for the second broadcast in a row that I've appeared on. You will not mention the weather. You will not mention hydration. You will not mention anything like that with me in here, because if it happens, something bad's going to happen.
To Brian.
And you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we appreciate your time, guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Stay
Titans,
safe.
be safe.